What's good, guys? Last week I went to see
Travis Scott,
and I gotta tell you, my guys, wasn't. I know his show was nuts, like he has that reputation, but I didn't thought it was gonna be like that. It's one top 3 music experiences of my life. It's crazy, the vibes, like the energy that he can put out into the public, how he interacts with everybody. It seems like he's really paying attention. While I was there and I was seeing the images on the screen and how I was being directed live by the dude with the camera, the dude was just cooking, you know what I mean? The dude that was handling the camera and doing the Travis shots that were on the big screens and with all the live effects and all of that, dude was just cooking, you know? And I was seeing it, I was being like, yo, I gotta do something with it, right? I gotta do some merch, something like that, because I was feeling so inspired because of the energy, and it was crazy. So here we are. This actually lines up perfectly with this week's challenge, that is the merch challenge. If you're not on it, go to the Discord, you know how it is. So I figured I wanted to do some fan-made merch, Travis Scott, Circus Maximum tour. Let's just get it, you know what I mean? For this one, I don't really have something in mind that I want to do, but I found some cool images that I think would work really well for a merch design. So let's play around with them and see what can we come up with. Let's get it. I already found this image. I'm gonna link to the Instagram that I got it from. It's from Stuso, I feel it's called. I tried to DM him, but he wasn't responding. This was from his YouTube thumbnail. I scraped it from there and then upscaled it with artificial intelligence, and it's a really cool image. I don't know if he's the photographer, but I looked for it and I couldn't find it. That's the only source that I could find, which was his Instagram account. And I'm gonna just start bringing a composition together, and from there we'll start applying the effects, and I'll walk you through the process of how I do those. So let's get it.
It's way too dumb, yeah. I get those goosebumps every time. I need the Heimlich, throw that to the side, yeah. I get those goosebumps every time, yeah. When you're not around, when you throw that to the side, yeah. I get those goosebumps every time, yeah. 713 through the 281, yeah, I'm riding. Why they on me? Why they on me? I'm flying, sipping low key. I'm sipping low key in Onyx, find a rider. When I'm pulling up right beside.
I was thinking I want to make like a big, bold Circus Maximus behind the image of Travis, but I want it to be Chrome, so for that I'm gonna use my Chrome template. Don't worry, I have a tutorial on my channel in where I show you how to make it step by step, and then there's also the free download that you can grab from the Shinobi stash, so go get them. It's really nice to have the template at hand. It saves you a lot of time when you want to come back to it to do a logo for a client or a typeface that you need for any piece that you want to make. So it's really handy to just have it at hand, you know what I mean? Let's continue with the piece.
Can't relate, yeah, cause we from a place you cannot stay, or you can't go, or I don't know, or back the fuck up all me. I get those goosebumps every time, yeah. You come around, yeah. You ease my mind, you make everything feel fine. Worry about those comments, I'm way too numb, yeah. It's way too dumb, yeah. I get those goosebumps every time. I need the Heimlich, throw that to the side, yeah.
Here, don't worry, I know it looks kind of whack, but that's because I'm gonna tie it all together when I apply all the effects and the post-processing and the textures and all of that. That's gonna bring it all together. Don't worry, trust the process. Brr.
I wanna green like I wanna be like I wanna press my line, yeah. I wanna take that ride, yeah. I'm gonna press my line. I wanna green like I wanna be like I wanna press my mama dear, spare your feelings. I'm reliving moments, feeling more residual. I can buy the building, burn the building, take your bitch, rebuild the building just to fuck some more. I can justify my love for you and touch the sky, forgot to stop the bidding wall. Put the pussy on the pedal.
So, okay guys, let me just explain what I just did here. So once I have my composition sort of ready, from here I'm off to a good start, and I'm gonna keep adding things, but the main composition will stay locked into this one. I'll start applying the effects to try to see the piece a bit more finished. I was about to make it one color, like if I was just about to make it like a screen print, because that's also a key thing you need to have in mind when you start doing a design, is how you're gonna do the printing printing process, right? So you know what can be done and what cannot be done for, or what it's optimal or not for the certain printing method that you're gonna use. So I thought for this one, maybe I wanted to do like a screen print, but then when I started to play with it, I got this result and I really like, and I think this could be printed in a nice DTC printer, so let's just work with that. And what I did here was, this is my main composition. I made a group, and on top of it, I started adding first a levels adjustment layer to lock in maybe the contrast to give it more punch, and then on top of it I bring a texture in an overlay mode, and which I killed the colors for the texture because the original had this this yellowish hue to it, so I killed it with a hue and saturation, then a bit of Gaussian blur, and then I added a curves. You can see it all here because this is all smart layer, and in the curves what I usually do is I'll try to play with it and try to play with the contrast of the texture, so I can maybe make it come out in the way that I want, right? So here just play with it because it's gonna depend a lot of what texture you have and what the original image looks like of the texture. So here play around with it, give it more contrast, less contrast, see what you get, always in the overlay mode. And once that's done, I add a noise, and on top of it a gradient map, right? And here the gradient map, this or from my pack, you can get it from the store. There's also the free version, and here I just started to play with the low fee ones. This one I really liked. One key thing is that I know that the t-shirt, the garment I'm gonna be using later for the mock-up, it's black, right? Because I like black. I like black, you know what I mean? So black or maybe a dark color, right? So for this one to be able to crop it out later, I wanted to make like the lesser value, the darker value, I'm gonna leave it at black, right? So for that instance, I'm gonna leave it as black, and from there I start playing with the colors, right? Maybe something like this I feel works, and then we're gonna add another, so it's more interesting, right? And then I settled for that purple and red, and I'm gonna cancel here, so we go back to the colors that we had. I cancel there, so I go back to the colors that I already had, right? And here actually you can turn down the texture and go back and play with the texture again if you feel like it, just because once you apply the gradient maps, then you can go back and see how it all ties together. Maybe you can give it like a super contrast thing, something like that, really trashed out, right? But let's just leave it as it is now. And now what I like to do is start to go in, for example, in this Travis Scott image, right? And I would like it to have a bit more separation from the background, right? So what I'll do now is I create a new layer that's already clipped to the Travis Scott, right? And from here, with a really soft brush, I'll start doing maybe like a highlight. This is too much. Let's just do something like this, and then we'll turn it down with the opacity, right? Something like that, just to bring it a bit out of the background, you know? And then we'd add a shadow so it contrasts a bit more. Let's turn down the opacity on this. Like that, I do like. And then to the Travis Scott, let's add a drop shadow, just to bring it a bit and separate it from the background. Something like that works. So, okay, we are mostly done with the main composition. I'm gonna start adding some elements and maybe play around a bit with it more. So I'll see you at the finish line.
Just come outside for the night. Yeah. Take your time, get your life. Shut it down. The career is more at stake when you in your prime. Fuck that paper, baby, my face on the dotted line. I've been flying out of town for some peace of mind.
Now with this, we're almost finished. One quick change I want to do to the layer setup. Let's just move these levels just below the gradient map, And now that's in here, you can see how the texture is being more powerfully applied into the design, right? And here we can, if we make it like super close, you can get this like really vibrant colors, right? Like neatly separated, and also the texture shows a lot more. But for this, what I like to do is give it even more contrast, like a darker piece, like really broken, and something like this works amazingly, I feel. I really like it. And now to really close the piece, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab one of my textures of the Street Smart pack. You can grab any texture really. Here I'm gonna just add some noise to sort of break it up, you know, like give it that really worn feel. This one I feel works fine. Yeah, perfect. And here what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna unsaturate to get rid of any color contamination, and I'm gonna invert it to get it to the negative. And now I'm gonna add an image adjustment and a curves to give it more contrast. I want only to get the black parts of the image. Something like this I feel works amazing. And now let's turn this into multiply. And there you can see how it breaks up the piece, gives it that nice worn look, right? And I guess this is the final piece, my guys. So now let's just throw it on the mockup and see how it looks. But I'm really digging the result. Now let's just save it, and I'll show you how to get rid of the black to use it for the mockup. And now here we are. This is the free mockup that I made for this specific day of the challenge. You can go grab it from the free stash. And to use it, just let's open the smart layer. I'm gonna get rid of this. This is just a placeholder to see where we place the design. Let's just drag and drop it here. And here we got it. Now the correct way of doing this, we need to get rid of all the black here. One way that can work for the mockup, let's just go into the blending options. And in here where it says blend if gray, you can see if we move it, you can see how it gets rid of the values, right? If you go all the way, it all disappears. So if I turn it just a bit up, you can see how all the pure black pixels disappear. But if we go into the piece, you can see how we have a bit of color contamination at the edges, right, where the colors mix. So for that, let's just alt click here in this right handle. You see in the small triangle thing, you can separate it to get more of a threshold, right, for the blending of the colors. So if I bring it a bit more to the right, you can see how the contamination starts to go. But if you go all the way, you can start to lose some values on the colors that you do want. So once you see it all went away, then you're good, right? Something like that works. Let's press OK. Now let's get rid of the placeholder. Now let's close this here, and we can see the effect already taking place. Looks amazing. I'm gonna correct the positioning a little bit, right? Let's tweak a bit the curves on the highlights. And just like that, my guys, here we have the final design. I hope you liked it. I really loved how it turned out. I really feel like it transmits me this energy and these vibes that I got there being on the show. I remember glancing at Travis and then looking at the big monitors, the big screens, and seeing his silhouette really blown out by the lights, and all the artistic direction there was amazing. And this was kind of what you could see, right? You could see the small silhouette over the superimposing enormous figure, right, that was on the monitors with all the lights. So it was really amazing. I really liked the piece. And so yeah, that was it, guys. Remember to subscribe and click the notify bell button so you don't miss any of the future videos, graphic design content coming your way. And if you wish to support the channel further, step by the store, get a texture, get some mockups, right? And don't forget to grab the Shinobi stash full of free design assets to help you on your journey of becoming a design ninja, you know what I mean? So see you on the next one. Fuck peace, wish you conflict. Shit.